What's going on, guys? I have got some new baits I want to share with you guys, some pretty cool innovative stuff, and if you like big rubber, you need to stick around for this one. Before we get to the Mobster, I just want to go over a couple things that are new with the newest version of the Hellbender and Hellraisers. Right here, I've got Hellbenders. These two are the old style Hellbenders, not the oldest version, but the previous version to what the new one is. And the differences you can see is the thicker tail. And so that was something that Mike addressed with the newest mold for the newest Hellbender, was the tail thickness. These baits here, being the older model, still work great. They still have lots of thump and noise in the water with this huge tail, but they're not quite as thick as his original Hellbender. And a couple people asked for thicker tails, so Mike listened, and there we go. We've got a thick tail just like the original Hellbender. Same thing goes with the Hellraiser. So right here you have two older style Hellraisers. Got the long skinny tail, and this is the new style Hellraiser with the thick tail. And guys, this thicker tail just makes a little more noise in the water, a little more thump. It puts a little more drag on the bait, so you get a different action when pulling, ripping and pausing, ripping and pausing. And I think overall it's just an improvement on the bait. And the fact that Mike is willing to spend the money on new molds and improve his designs over time speaks a lot to how much he cares about his baits. Next, you've got the Hammerhead. Now, this to me is probably my favorite of his lineup. He took the Hellbender and pretty much doubled the width of the body. So now you have this huge body profile, which is very important, I think, when throwing big rubber. Once we get into the later part of the season, when the water cools down, you know, we're fishing water temps of 35 to 40 degrees. A big slow target like this Hammerhead is very, very productive. And again, if you look at the tail, we've got the nice thick tail that thumps in the water. These baits right here, these Hammerheads, are absolutely awesome. He also makes a Hammerhead Junior, which is still in my box right now. I didn't bring that out to show you guys, but it's a smaller version of this. I'll probably be throwing the Hammerhead Junior once spawn gets a little bit closer, or after spawn, in fact, into the May and June months. Post-spawn fishing, those smaller rubber baits work really well. All right, let's move all that over. Here we go. This right here is the new Musky Mobster. Okay, and these are one of the first 3 Mobsters ever produced. Prototypes. Me and Mike took them out and did a little testing with them. Got bit by a very large fish, and we were very pleased with how they performed. Now, while we were out fishing these, I noticed a couple things, as did he, and improvements that can be made. Again, these are just prototypes. Mike will have the finished edition available soon with all the changes. But the first thing we noticed was how it swam on a pause. They wanted to roll a little bit. They didn't fall this end down. So we made a couple changes and stuck some weight, just some peg weights or screw-in weights in the tail of these things, and that helped a lot. Made them fall straight down with the tail, with the claws kicking on the way down, and when you rip it up, claws kick on the way up. Also, on a pause, when it falls on the bottom, it will fall like this with the claws up, which is just so enticing for a muskie. Of course, you can see these are rigged with the hooks on the top, right? So you can work this on the bottom without getting hung up. That's super cool. of course, that's where the crayfish are. And if you don't think muskie eat crawfish, you're crazy. They eat a lot of crawfish. And these things right here are going to absolutely slay. So right here you can see this one, I adjusted the harness a little bit. I bent it upwards, so when you pull it, it kind of gets an arcing motion on the pull, also keeping it orientated right. And this one has the weight right here as well. Now you can see in the harness, Mike already had a little bit of weight in the harness in the correct area, but he's actually going to add a little bit more. That way with the production models, you won't have these exterior weights added. It'll just be weighted out of the get-go to swim correctly, and ready to catch fish right out of the box. But how cool are these things, man? Check them out. These baits are first of its kind. If you know of a large crawfish musky bait, let me know, because I've never seen one before, and I think Mike is the first one to do this. And not only is he the first, but these baits right here are just going to smash. Especially in the southern rivers where crawfish are part of the muskie's diet, a large part of the muskie's diet. These things are just going to absolutely smash. Another thing that Mike shared with me is he's creating a smaller version of this, slightly smaller, that will be rigged with a jig head or a large worm hook. Instead of treble hooks, it'll use single hooks, which can be rigged to be even more weedless. And kind of the options for rigging and the action and your ability to work this bait in so many different ways just makes it such a versatile option for bottom fishing muskies. I have got a special guest in the boat with me today, Mr. Mike Wolfel. You guys may know Hellbender Lures. That's the man.
What's up, guys?
And Mike has brought out some brand new baits that we're going to be testing today. This right here is called the Mobster, and these are the very first ones that he's made. I'm stoked to use these things. I think they're gonna absolutely tear the muskie up. You guys know I've been doing a lot of work on jigs lately, and this is pretty much the same kind of presentation, only muskie size. So I've got a feeling we're gonna catch quite a few fish on this today. And of course we got the Hellbenders, the Hellraisers. We got lots of goodies that Mike brought. The new hammerhead, yep, brand new hammerhead design. So hopefully the fish will be biting, and we'll put some big girls in the net. Y'all stay tuned. So that's the new Hellbender.
Yep.
Got a thicker tail. What else did you change?
Yeah, so the body's a little longer. The top fin's a little wider.
That's it?
Yeah. Harness is a tad different, but the tail essentially is
Much thicker tail.
Much thicker tail, wider, and it's also tapered. Instead of having rough edges, the entire bait is tapered.
Okay.
And that allows it to cut through the water a little better. And also added the weight system internally, changed it a little bit. So it's just kind of a little bit of an upgrade of generation 1 and 2. Gen 2 Hellbender was, the tail was too thin. I mean, they still swim fine, they catch fish, but this is just after fishing something for a few months, you decide you want to change it and what would work better. This one has a little bit more hang time because it's got the thump at the tail, but you also can just burn it straight if you want. So yeah, it's kind of a versatile lure, man.
Yeah, cool. Always good to upgrade and make your product better. I'm getting ready to throw the Mobster. This guy right here. So all they needed was a little weight,
Weight in the front, yep. And these will look a little funny because they got those, but I'll put that inside the mold as we get going forward. Right. But look at that. Yeah, I want to leave these with you, and hopefully you can catch some fish on it, man.
I'm gonna throw one right now, actually.
All right, do you want this one?
Yeah, that'll
This
work.
one is like, I think, the money color. I actually poured these specifically. There's 2 of them for you because I thought you'd like.
Yeah, I like the natural
I
stuff.
thought you would.
Honestly, you could probably come over trees with it. Ooh, there you go. Got him. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. He came off, he came off.
That was a good fish too. Yeah, he came off.
See where it hit. It just happened.
We had a good fish. Grabbed the Mobster here. You can see the teeth marks here where she ripped it pretty good, and she came right flying at the boat. I was trying to catch up with her, and she threw the hooks, but got me pretty good right there too.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So that's the first eat.
That looked like a big fish, man.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get her to go again. She wasn't stung too bad, or maybe we can get a different one.
Yeah, she might be able to go again. We'll see. I think I'm gonna put a Mobster on myself.
Sounds good, man.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. We'll see how it goes.
I love being a part of product development like this. Seeing, this is the first time Mike's even thrown these things, and there's been a couple tweaks we've made, and I think he's gonna decide to put weight in a different part on the next ones. And it's a process. It's a process. This is the first time out with them, and we've learned a lot already. But pretty cool to see Mike get the first bite with them. That's pretty wild. But yeah. I think I'm gonna put one on my line and give it a go. Let's get him.
Let's get one.
So yeah, me and Mike went out and did a little fishing. We had a great time testing out these baits, seeing what they did, making a couple adjustments, improving on them, and just talking general baits. I had a great time with Mike. Thanks for coming out, man. And I'm really looking forward to fishing more of these Mobsters later this season, as well as the Hellbenders, the Hellraisers, the Hammerheads, the Hammerhead Juniors, and the rest. Just an awesome bait maker. I love seeing innovative bait makers because this day and age, it seems like everyone's just copying each other. And I like to see people do things differently, create a bait that's different than all the rest. It's really cool to see. And Mike's a great friend of mine, so I'm happy to support him. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're interested in getting your own Hellbender lures, Mike has a website that's getting ready to launch called Hellbender Lures, or Hellbender Musky Baits. You'll have to contact him, find the exact address, but that's almost ready. You'll be able to buy baits directly from the website. He's trying to be more fair. He's trying to get baits into everyone's hands, give everyone the chance to get one of their own. So check that out. Stay tuned, and hopefully I'll see you on the river throwing these things. Y'all have a good one.